Okay, this is day one, part two. And we got down to here about electricity and how are you going to power your homes and what methods. And there's some choices on the Google or on the slideshow. I'll roll down and we'll get to that later. Okay, so you're going to be graded on a business plan, completing calculations, your finalized decisions, food and agriculture, transportation, electricity, descriptions in 5 quality sentences that explain how your choices will limit carbon emissions. You're going to make an island poster, or it can be in this slideshow or some other uh, Google presentation, drawing, or something. We'll talk more about that when we get to that. We have some figuring out to do, some thinking to do first. You're going to make a legend that should be a nice visual color too. You're going to name your island and you're going to have a total carbon footprint number. Okay. And your presentation. There's a rubric with this, and it's on the last slide. So if you scroll down, you should see that rubric, and we're going to talk more about it. So it's not like we're not, but anyway. So on the next slide, if I can get mine to go to the next slide. So, oh, that's not what I wanted at all. I wanted to go to the next slide. Sometimes it's hard to get it to, there we go. Okay. Arrow down helps it get there. Okay, so the next slide or the next page in our thing is about food and agriculture. And here are the items that how we can provide food. And this is how many they feed. And this is the tons of carbon that they produce. And so our first tasks are simply going to be to figure out how much tons of carbon per person that each one of these things uses. So that may look a little complicated, but it's not really. So we're going to say when we read this tons of carbon per person thing, see that division line? That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to divide. So we're going to take the tons of carbon and we're going to divide that by how many people. So 10 divided by 10 equals what, guys? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Oh, that's right. 1. So it's 1 ton of carbon per person. That's how much a cow produces. Seems a little like a lot, doesn't it? Per year. Okay. But that's what we're trying to keep that amount small. Okay. So we're going to go through and do all of these on day one. And we're going to do them all for food and agriculture. And then we're going to do them all for the transportation, and I think electricity is the other one. Is that right? Electricity? Yeah. Okay. So I think there are 3 pages of that I would like for you to do. Yeah. Yeah. Just those 3 slides about that division stuff. And now thinking about, this is a lot of work, Mrs. Freeman, and how do I know what I have to? Okay. So every day I'm going to give you an exit ticket. So this is exit ticket for day 1. And in the directions here, it says, these are the things that I wanted you to do today. So on day 1, I wanted you to choose a partner or choose to work by yourself. But that's a choice, guys. If you're choosing to work by yourself, I mean, it's fine with me. But, okay, all right. As long as we understand each other. Choose the name of your island. I want you to be committed. I want you to be, think it through. And I want for you to work through the calculations on slide 2, 3, and 4. Those are the ones I just pointed out to you. You're going to tell me which class you're in. And now here's the part of the rubric for this segment that we're talking about. So when you look at a rubric, you should be looking at the meeting or exceeding expectations, and you should read through that. And that's what your goal is to do that. And then you're going to fill out the rest of this with you and your each of you are going to do it and turn it in, and this will help me figure out what I need to do better to make it go better the next day. All righty. So there's day 1.